Yeah, we need to go there. Hey peeps, what's up? What it do? But I don't know if this conversation is going to sit with you, but I don't care because it still needs to be had. So, and the conversation that I'm talking about, Reese Royce. I don't know if that's her name. It doesn't matter. What matters is the conversation at hand. So, Google it. Do your due diligence. Reese Royce. So, allegedly, she's been charged with child neglect. And she's been charged with child neglect allegedly for the actions of her child. Supposedly, allegedly, her child is um, responsible for assaulting multiple children. Um, so she's been charged with child neglect because he assaulted another child. Pause. Here's where it's not registering with me, and I can't quite grasp it. Our country is about to charge a mother for the actions of her child. Actions that he probably learned. Things that we've been dealing with for a very long time, but they've been dismissed. Childhood sexual abuse. Yeah, let's talk about it. I mean, it was brought up during R. Kelly's trial, but you guys chose to dismiss it because it didn't fit the narrative that was given or fed to you. All people, but my people, black people, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody playing. It's been going on for decades and for centuries, which is probably why you're so conditioned to it. But once again, we're selling these children up a shitty creek. And it goes like this. You're raised in a household where you're told, do as I say, children not to be seen and not heard. What goes on in this house stays in this house. Well, what happened when the person that's touching you inappropriately is in the house? Yeah, let's go there. Conversations that need to be discussed. Well, nothing happens. And family friction continues. You have generations ahead, great-grands, grands, auntie, uncles. Well, they die off with family secrets. But the children grow up. And those abused children sometimes grow up to abuse other children. I myself was a victim of childhood sexual trauma. You understand? And it wasn't until a few years ago that I was in a position to openly state that. I'm a healed person, but the unhealed part of me caused me to do other things. Yeah, I didn't become a predator per se, but I lost respect for men. And when I grew up, my actions towards men affected my life, my children's life, and the men that were involved with me at that time. Why? Unhealed issues from childhood trauma. We see it to this day. Even now, men, they're not content within themselves. They can't stand homosexuality. Why? They were touched and fiddled and fondled with as a child, and they don't want anybody to know about it because guess what? They feel as if it's going to affect their masculinity. It's going to make them less than a man. When in all actuality, it's all a part of the plan. Go back and listen to my prior podcast that I released. I think it was back in 2018, 2017. I mentioned this. Lynch letter. Pay attention. Grown men raped. You understand? It's a chain reaction. These issues didn't just start in 2022. They're just being brought to the forefront so that we can make it do what it do collectively as a society. But the only way we're going to be able to do it is if we factually, authentically address the issues at hand. Stop falling into that plan, because all this is going to do is now destroy the mental of this child. He's going to feel as if his dysfunctional thinking process is the reason his mother's life is being torn apart. You understand? Oh, and trust and believe, she's dealing with these issues that she wished she would have dealt with before mainstream media caught on to them. Perhaps she didn't know how. Perhaps she had no one to go to. Her entire community will turn on her in a heartbeat, as long as the powers ahead or above tell us to do so. They tell you to go out and prosecute your people, and you do so without reasoning. And then years later, the issues that we could have resolved within the community become destructive, and they're forces and weaponized against us. The conversations that need to be had. When we gonna start doing it? Make it do what it do.